Hey folks, it's Beardboi here, and welcome back to another episode of the Forever World. In the previous episode, we went on a massive, classic caving adventure, and we came out restocked on iron, got some more gold and lapis and stuff like that, and also got our first diamonds to make a diamond pickaxe. We, I think, have a couple more in there. Soon, I'd like to make an enchanting table, but not today because we are actually in the steps to do that. Today, we're going to be building an XP farm. So my idea, basically, is that we're going to use that XP farm we found down over in like this direction, but it is above ground, which means we're going to actually have to build around it. So I'm going to go over to the cobblestone mine, and we're just going to build around it in cobblestone for now. Later down the line, we might change the layer of where they're spawning at to like maybe tinted glass or stone brick or something like that. But for now, I'm just going to get a bunch of stone. We're going to get as much of this as we can so we can surround it, because there is a certain tactic. I'm basically future-proofing this build, so it might not work 100% today, but it should work pretty good down the line as we're using kind of a future version that's kind of just generic for XP spawners. So, I'll be back once I have probably a few stacks of cobblestone. So, there's been something I've been wanting to do that leads up to here. Basically, I want to make an entire massive road that leads from there all the way to here. And it's a decently okay walk. It's not like it's crazy. But I want to go and kind of make this the main street of a town that I'm wanting to make. And I want to have multiple like farms and quote-unquote businesses that leads over to here. This here will be what I'm planning to be a XP farm factory. So later this episode, you're gonna watch me build a factory in here, which I'm extremely excited because I'm gonna just build on the outside and then eventually we'll expand it going that way. And the plan is that it just basically leads to the main area, which will be like the housing district, the residential, while the road leading here is basically the like commercial district, which is what I want to do. And I actually do have a name for this area. I want to name it Spawn Town. I think it's like self-explanatory. Over here is like the spawn. It would make sense to just name this Spawn Town, I think. But we first need to actually dig this out a little bit. So if I'm correct, it's 4x4 from the spawner. So it basically will go all around this area, kind of hollowing it out, and then I will kind of build over it with cobblestone. Now that I got this room encased, I'm just going to go every other block here and just place this in like so. So now I'm going to dig down about 22, 23. I think I'm going to do a conservative 22 just to make sure none of the mobs die. If not, it's something where we can literally just add more blocks up. That way, whenever we actually start this farm, it would be a pretty easy them drop into here and be about one shot. So I'm going to go like 22. So this here should be our dedicated killing chamber. They'll fall here, I can just give them a good old whack, whack, whack. And if we have to, we can, to avoid, like, entity cramming, we can easily just, like, expand this a little bit. I might actually, for the bottom's sake, move this a little bit by 2. That way, they don't immediately start dying. Plus, we'll have this here. They can't really hit us, at least from my knowledge. And if I have to, I can just stand back. Okay, so temporarily, we have an outdoor escape hatch here. This is not going to be the final escape hatch. Mainly just the one we'll use temporarily. I kind of just want to go straight up that way, at least for now. But yeah, this is going to be the main farm area for now. This will expand and change much more in the future. So this is just the killing area. Any drops I'll get, I'll just throw into these 3 chests. And then we do have a couple of furnaces and a crafting table for anything we need. This is mainly just rudimentary until we need to upgrade this. Okay, I removed all of the torches from down there, filled that little spot in there. And you know what? Yeah, we'll do that. So in there is the farm. So if we go over here... Okay, it seems like it's not spawning correctly. We've had no drops. It seems like none of them dropping. I think it's because of the water physics within Minecraft 1.0. Okay, I just checked there, so they're definitely dropping. So maybe I need to be right above it for them to spawn. Hey, look, it's them! But they are dying. So, let's bring the spawning level to, like, there. So, we'll just bring it up a little bit. We'll bring it, like, to there. That way they don't have a chance of dying. Now, that's what I'm talking about. There we go. Look at that. Now, that is an effective XP spawner. I might keep this here. I'm not sure. This being the exit, there might be, like, another smaller hatch to get down here. But the main inside, I do want it to be the factory look, which will take a lot of stuff to do. But I'm very happy this is working. We do need enchantments, though. We need enchantments bad. We need unbreaking. But this is working. This is indeed working. So we can easily just start, like, throwing, like, random loot into there. And it will actually work. And then, eventually, when we can get hoppers and other redstone-y kind of stuff into the game, and we can link these up better, we'll definitely change this. For now, this is how it's going to stay until we update it. But now, I need to go on an adventure to get a whole bunch of clay, because we're going to need bricks. We need a whole ton of bricks, because if we don't, this is not really going to function well for us. And I do really think just having this area be a factory would look cool. So the first initial part, what we're going to do is the facade. And we're going to build it just around this initial area. Not too big. It can be built into the mountain for now. And then eventually, as time goes, we will, like, dismantle and do a little bit of terraforming around this area to make it more of a legitimate factory. But I want to do the main facade first and maybe some interior, just so that it looks nice. But I'm so happy this is working. Also, for now, I don't know if this is going to be a forever thing. I'm pretty sure it's not. But this here is our spawning chamber. So we just sit in here, and you should hear them start spawning there. I think he actually did. And then they'll head down there. This works perfect. But we need to go. I need to make some shovels. And I'm going to go and get a whole bunch of clay.
One eternity later.
Alrighty, so I went and got a lot of clay and clay blocks. I realized you cannot craft clay into this, you know, the singular, like, the one you make bricks with. You can't do that by just putting this in, like, your inventory or a crafting table. Not possible. So I had to manually break all of this into this again. Mind you, I went through like 10 or 12 iron shovels. And I'm currently in the process of turning all of it into bricks. That way we can build the factory over at the XP spawner. This has taken a lot longer than I thought it was going to take.
2,000 years later.
Alrighty. It has been like 2 hours of smelting. But I have everything. I have everything ready to make the factory. We have like, what is this? 8, 9, 10, 11 stacks of bricks. Multiple stacks of cobblestone stairs and glass panes. Okay, now we're going to go head over to the XP farm and we're going to start this build. Also, I would like to thank you guys for the support you've been given this series. It has been truly amazing. The first 3 episodes have done really well for my channel and it's grown a lot. I like seeing all the new faces and there's some people in the comment section that have been helping me figure out what changes are happening in these versions, which is really fun. Already on the corners, we're actually going to mess with these stairs and the stone bricks. And what I'm going to be doing is just going up like this in each corner, like so. And then around it, we'll do a little something like this. Preferably with this sand not in the way. Okay, I've come up with something like this. Since you can't really merge these together yet, what I'm going to do here is have a couple of stone bricks right here in the front. That way it goes a little bit more, and it adds a little bit of 3D definition to it. We could even maybe add some, like, fencing and stuff in there as well. It might look good. I'm not exactly sure, but this alone I'm liking, and then we can go around and kind of texture it up by doing this every now and again. Oh, that's going to look good. I think this will legitimately look good. Okay, I got the front going here. So on the back end, mainly because we're going to be expanding this anyway, I'm not actually going to touch it over here. But I do have the pillars on the sides here finished. So we got this one. It's a little bit shorter, but this is on higher elevated land, so it made a little bit more sense like that. Then over here, we have a much bigger pillar, mainly because this goes a lot more down. I am going to cut these trees down really quick. We'll have a main doorway right here. I'm just going to count how many blocks I actually went. So this right here should be the middle point. So this can just be our little entrance area for now. I think this here is good enough for now. And we can just do something like this on the inside. And then we can make some doors. Okay, and we can just do something like this. I'd like to change these to iron doors once we're able to actually do that. But for now, that's kind of fine. And what we can do to make this look a little better is to add some window spots. So basically having one on each side here, and then maybe we put some on there as well. I won't go all the way up on these. I want to have a little bit of it kind of still there. But the goal is that for this to be decently big windows. I think that there is actually perfect. think that's kind of what I want to do. We'll do one there as well, and maybe we do like a smaller one there. And then on the sides, I might keep the sides empty because it doesn't make sense to fill these when I know I'm going to be expanding this factory in the future. So I think there we won't, but I will focus on getting these done. Okay, I'm liking the front now. So we have the middle window, we have these, and then I have some trapdoors going up on the bottom and the top. I think it actually looks really well and kind of helps pop it out a little bit and not look as boring with the bricks. Once we can get something to help texture these, like granite in the future, I will come and texture this up. But I actually like how that looks. And then I was thinking over here, we could add some of these. That actually kind of looks good. I like that. And we can do it up to the top there. I actually really like that. Okay. I very much like that. So on the side, we did that little fence post trick. Or not trick, but little design into the pillar. And I did it also around the windows. I don't know why. I really like this. Now this is kind of like a weird dead zone area. Instead of like expanding this window down, which I think would ununiform it, I think I'm going to put something here in the future. I'm just not sure what, but maybe like a workstation area just right outside the factory. Maybe like make a little gated area. Because this is the main entrance. And this, I think, looks really good. I think from the inside, it'll be fine. We'll work on indoor cosmetics at a later point as well. Now I need to go up here. It is time to really just start putting in the roofing. Now it's looking like a factory. I said add some clay up there just because we have an abundance of it. If I truly don't like it, I'm going to give it a second thought after this episode's released. I'll probably just replace it with stone, smooth stone, once, you know, we get more of it. But till then, I'm kind of liking the clay look, but once again, that's a work in progress. We do have some torches up there just to light it up a bit. Same thing on the other sides. And then I saw on the inside there were some baddies in here. Yep. How dare you spawn in here? Turned it down so you guys have less to hear here. You know, not as loud. But it seems like it's doing really well. Mind you, I've only been back a little bit. And it's already working that well. Gotta love that. Throw those into there. There's skeletons spawning in here too. That's funny. That is kind of funny. But it actually worked. So we can get, at some point, we can have a ladder system that goes up to there. We won't worry about it for now, because we do have this entrance. What I'll probably do actually is fill this part up. At some point, we'll abandon this section. But we do have, in there now, a way to get there once we get some ladders, which... Hey! How'd you get in here? No. How? I don't understand how they spawned in here. Looks like we're gonna need more torches. I'll fix that next episode. For the most part, I know this is working. We just need to encase the actual build, which I'm happy just the build itself didn't bust open. And what I'll do is I'll just spam a bunch of torches in here in between episodes. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. We were able to make a actually legitimately functional XP farm and 1.0, and it works pretty well. And we even encased it a little bit. I was trying to see why it was like that. We were able to encase it with a fun little factory build. And I'm going to definitely expand this into other directions, like that way and that way. I want this to be a mega build eventually down the line. So hopefully you guys are ready for that. Well, if you guys enjoyed today's episode, consider subscribing. Subscribing grows the channel. Consider liking the video, because liking lets the algorithm know that these are good videos. And and comment down below what you think I should add to the factory later down the line. I've been Beardboi OG, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.